Fray for All, a platform of the Wednesday Night War, NXT versus AEW. I love it. Now, this is overall the 11th episode. However, I know I'm debuting on YouTube tonight, so everybody who has not followed me on Facebook, which is where the original show started, I'm going to bring you up to speed on how we do things. First and foremost, we do not care about ratings in the Fray. We go based on content. I have 7 key points that I base the show off of. That is best segment, best promo, best match, best active storyline, crowd favorite, meaning a superstar that gets the most chance of that night, and crowd reaction. Also best booking. So out of those 7, whoever scores the best wins Fray for All, and there is never a tie, unlike a few weeks ago with the ratings. So, for those of you who are starting to watch me for the first time, like on YouTube or whatever, I do not have a studio. I do not have an office. I am recording this in my lab. This is where I fix computers, because that's what I do for a living. And this is where I 3D print things, as you can see both of them behind me, and you can probably hear them too because they are very loud. No, I don't need a silent board for all those enthusiasts. Anyhow, I guess we will start with the most boring part. Ratings report. Now that that's over with, let's go with the AEW rundown. We'll start with the first match of the night. I want to point out something. The sign in the crowd that says "Book That Trick," which pays homage to the movie Hustle and Flow, where pimp slash hustler based out of Memphis by DJ, Terrence Howard's character. I thought that was very nice. I thought that was a pretty cool movie. Anywho, we had Kenny Omega and Hangman Adam Page versus Private Party. This was an amazing match. I actually expect nothing less from these 4 competitors, especially Kenny Omega, especially when he does that Snap Dragon. Those of y'all who follow me on Fray4ALL Facebook knows I'm a big fan of Kenny Omega's in-ring ability. I mean, who isn't? I mean, for those of y'all who say he's overrated, you really need to watch all this man's matches even before he got to AEW. And a lot of chants back and forth. And okay. I don't have a meme for it or anything, but just like the roll-ups and like the Canadian destroyers, I'm getting a little tired of seeing all these Spanish flies. I used to love that move, but everybody does it now. Y'all are running that move down to the ground. I mean, or in the ground. Whatever the saying is, man. Now, Mark Quinn, like I said, I like Private Party, but yet and still, as versatile as he is in the ring, he's kind of slow with it, and he's too tall and limber, and it just looks obvious. I know I said that before. Really didn't have much of an issue with it last few weeks or so. Not a few weeks, but a month or so. But I felt it really showed tonight. Anyhow, but that's how that match was for the most part. And of course, Omega won with the one-winged angel. I don't like to speculate, but it's obvious they're definitely doing something very, very heelish soon with Hangman Adam Page. I don't know how long they're gonna let this whole "I'm tired of doing this and that" attitude he has drag out. I even got a comment saying that he's become the alcoholic wrestler. Honestly, alcoholism in my eyes doesn't play with. Hope they're not going with that route. So right after the match, Pac was in the back. He beats up Nakazawa and pretty much tells Omega, "I need a third match with you, or I'm gonna keep hurting your friends." Don't know exactly where that's going. I mean, Like I said, I don't mind seeing these guys in the ring. But interesting to see where that storyline is going to go. Then we had Brandy Rhodes come on commentary as we had a women's world title match with Riho defending her title against Chris Statlander. So, okay. For those of y'all new to the fray, I'm guilty for being critical of the AEW women's division. And reason being is because there's so much talent on that roster, yet I'm just not feeling it. Like, this match is a prime example. And it surprised me because Chris Statlander normally moves better than this, but they were just slow, sluggish. I mean, their transitions were sloppy. I mean, if this was a real fight, it's like I press pause and do the slow fast forward so I can see all slow. That's how I felt watching this match, honestly. Now, of course, a couple things did happen. Let's see, they had Britt Baker and Sheeta in the crowd. Of course, just watching, I guess, the match, see who's going to become champ or whatever. And I already knew with Brandy Rhodes being on commentary that Nightmare Collective was going to eventually show up. So with that, they came out. I guess they intended to help Statlander, I assume. So they attacked Riho, then Statlander attacked them. So that prompted Brandy to come down the ringside. Then, okay, I guess the guy's name is Luther. This came out, the same bald guy they were showing in the Nightmare Collective vignettes. Finally comes out of the ring. Not very familiar with that guy, so I mean, I guess I didn't really get that whole shock factor or whatever. So, and they attacked Chris outside the ring, and of course, throughout all this, so the match was still going on, and this was a good 4 or 5 minutes. So you mean to tell me for that long, the referee who's supposed to be officiating the match spent all that time outside the ring attending to Riho? And nobody comes to help or anything? They beat up Chris Statlander and they tell Riho, go ahead, pin her. So Riho gets on the top rope and it's implied that she was about to do a move on Chris Statlander, but instead she attacks them on the outside by diving out there. And then gets back in the ring and the match continues. And then of course, it looked like that Chris Statlander was about to win with that little tombstone move that she does. Then she was distracted. Then she was tripped. When she was tripped, Riho retained her title with a roll up. The Nightmare Collective come to the ring to attack them, then come to the rescue Big Swole, Hikaru Shida, and Sunny Kiss. Britt Baker did not move. I mean, she had some words for Riho last week, but so yeah, I guess she's got some heelish tendencies too. We'll see how long that goes. I mean, take your time. I like build up. Sammy Guevara versus Christopher Daniels. Now, Christopher Daniels was on fire with this match. Don't mind that. Like, it looked like the Christopher Daniels of 10 years ago. He did this mean exploder suplex. I was like, yes, that's what I want to see. But looked like he was about to get the victory with his finisher. Then Pentagon Jr. came out and was like, oh, do this Arabian moonsault. He messed up on that a few weeks ago. That distraction was enough for Sammy Guevara to get the win, his second singles win in AEW. However, you have to point out that even though he didn't win a singles match last year, At least at the start of 2020, Sammy Guevara is technically undefeated. So I guess we're starting to see his worth in the inner circle. Now, I'm going to tell you what happens after the match, but there is one thing that I just need to talk about. Before I do this, I'm going to let you know Fray for All does have its mini segments. I'm not going to tell you what they all are. When it happened, it happened. But I guess for new viewers, you're lucky to witness one tonight. Wow. Do y'all see this man's shorts? I mean, does he not know that it is cold outside right now? Dude, them shorts are so tight, a wedgie might make him tap out. Man, these shorts are so far up his butt, I'm surprised this dude wasn't bumping Cisco on the way to the ring. Dude, come on Sammy, man, I know you're small, but you got to stop buying your ring gear at Carter's. I mean, somebody please call a tailor, man. He needs some pants, like, right now. Man, Sam, you ought to be ashamed of yourself, man. There's children out there. Anyway, so after this match, the Dark Order comes out and they try to recruit Christopher Daniels. They give him the mask and everything. Looks like Daniel starts to think about it. Then he throws the mask right back at him. And as the Dark Order does, they started beating up on him. And yes, their punches were actually landing this time. And then, of course, STU and the Young Bucks came out for the save. And that was pretty much the end of that segment there. Next match was the Lucha Brothers versus the Rhodes Brothers. Pretty solid match. At one point, I think Lucha Brothers were trying to play dirty, and I think Arn kicked the chair away or whatever. And yeah, the whole Arn Anderson thing, I'm still not really understanding what that is. A coach, mentor, or whatever. I mean, however they're gonna work it in, I'm sure it'll be nice. Then after the match ended, of course, anyway, Dustin ended up winning, but that was a Cody Rhodes interview, but Arn ended up taking the mic. He was all like, you know what, MJF talks all this and that, and like, we're not gonna worry about that right now. I'm like, okay. So, I mean, I wasn't too happy about that because I actually wanted to hear what Cody had to say, because MJF was tearing it up on the mic the past couple of weeks, in my opinion. I would like to see Cody's response to it, but I guess we'll wait till next week or the week after, however they plan to do it. After that, we had a short interview with the legendary Lanny Poffo, because, you know, Memphis, South Haven, this is, you know, that area. So that was good. Then you had the MJF promo. MJF, like I said, MJF's promos are actually fire. I mean, if I had to pick one heel on a type of fantasy team or whatever, MJF would be at the top. I mean, that dude knows how to work a mic. Yeah. And I'm not gonna say it reminds me of Jericho, because Jericho has a different style, but I like Jericho's heel promos too. But MJF definitely coming in his own. Then he goes on and on. DDP comes out, and of course MJF was all like, "You want to fight?" You know. And Butcher, Blade, and the Bunny come out, and yeah, Butcher, Blade, and the Bunny come out. I believe MJF talked about doing stuff to Paige's daughter. Okay, I have a 6-year-old. I don't care if she's 16. You talk about my daughter, there could be 50 of you. Best believe somebody gonna have to pull me up off you. That's all I'm gonna say. And Paige was turning up. He hit like 2 diamond cutters, almost hit a third. Then of course MJF got to him. Was it a low blow or a slap or something like that? But then help arise. Whoever helped. But I don't remember that part. Sorry. You had the Jurassic Express versus Best Friends and Orange Cassidy. Now, Marco Stunt was getting cheered a lot because he's the hometown hero or whatever. So the crowd was really behind him. And speaking of which, yo, online, y'all really need to lay off Stunt for real, man. I mean, dude's not bad. Like, he gets like more insults than a little bit. They're all like, I see comments like, Marco Stunt's probably the only wrestler I feel that I can beat. I'm like, come on, y'all, calm down with that. Anyway, so good back and forth match. Every time you get a "This is awesome" chant, you know the match is fire. Remember what I said earlier about Spanish flies and roll-ups? Then you had another Canadian destroyer. I'm gonna find a meme for that because, like I said, they're running these moves to the ground. Anyway, and of course you had Orange Cassidy doing his antics and whatnot. And like I said, back and forth match. Like I said, it was a great match. Not bad for a main event. Well, one thing, of course, we had a winner. We had Jungle Boy. He won with a roll-up.
Jesus Almighty!
What can you do? Then, of course, Inner Circle comes out, and they call Mox out. Mox comes out, saying that he can't be bought, and he decides to say yes to join the Inner Circle. So here he opens his jacket, whatever, revealed to have an Inner Circle shirt, and everybody's celebrating with the bubbly. I'm sorry. Anyway, so and the crowd started chanting, "You sold out, you sold out." My thing is, this went on entirely too long to the point I knew Mox was going to do it. Of course, what does Mox do? Well, first of all, he takes the card that was offered, which I don't blame him. I'll do that same thing. And he's got on the mic said, "I was just kidding. I don't want to join the Inner Circle." Hits Jericho over the head with the bubbly, and then hits a paradigm shift and leaves. That's how AEW ended, and I'll be honest, I was not disappointed at all. Who are new to the program, I do superlatives for the show, both shows first, that I combine them together, and that's how I select the winners. So for AEW tonight, best segment, I had Mox tricking the Inner Circle. Best promo, I had MJF. Best match, I had Omega and Page versus Private Party. Crowd favorite was actually Marco Stunt. He had the most chance of any single superstar that night. And the best active storyline was, I put Mox and Jericho, though it could have easily been Cody and MJF. But I just felt with Mox and Jericho because of the way that it ended, and they actually had interaction. But you know, it could have went any other way, That's the way I do it. And a little history behind how I come up with that pretty much on my own. When I first started Fray4ALL, I put polls online for certain things like what do you think the best promo is, what do you think the best match is, the best active storyline. People did not take it very seriously. I didn't do it to where you couldn't add, you could not add anything. You had people adding like the bubbly and stuff that didn't make any sense. So when I did take that feature off, they weren't voting. So I said, screw it. I'll do it myself. So for those of you who think I'm just, you just throwing your opinions out there, I'm like, I kind of am and I'm kind of not. I'm doing this from an analytical point of view. So if you have any ideas on how I can incorporate feedback from those to influence the results, I am all ears. So I'm an open book, and I'm very easy to talk to, and whatever criticism I get, I'm sure I'm going to get some criticism because I've been a wrestling fan for over 30 years. I know how we are. Come at me. Out for the NXT rundown. It starts off with the reigning, defending, undisputed NXT Women's Champion, Rhea Ripley. Yes, I'm happy about that. So she started off doing her little promo, then here comes Toni Storm. Crowd goes wild because they know that Toni Storm beat her for the women's UK title. So Toni was all like, Rhea, remember I beat you? And pretty much said, I'll win the UK women's title again, and I'll beat you again, you know, that whole thing. So they started going back and forth with that. Kylie Ray, she ain't like that too much. So she like, you're not beating anybody, blah, blah, blah. Then comes Io Shirai, who dropped the mic. I don't know if that was planned for her to drop the mic and then hand off or whatever. So I'm not going to do the box sound effect. For those of you new to YouTube, you'll hear the box sound effect at some point. Probably won't hear it tonight because tonight was a pretty solid night. But I think my favorite was definitely Bianca Belair. Talking about, I could beat you. I could beat you. You don't even go here. That was awesome. I love Bianca Belair, man. Like I said, I never know what she's going to do. Whether it's in a match or whether it's in a promo, she is very, very entertaining. And then, of course, Candice LeRae came out, and so after that, Rhea Ripley was all like, do you want to fight? And she was like, me too. And just a brawl ensued, and what did that brawl turn into? A 6-woman tag match. So, that 6-woman tag match. So, Rhea, Toni, and Candice against Bianca, Kylie, and Io. So, and it was a pretty decent match for it to be impromptu. Now, check this out. So Io Shirai, she did this uppercut. It was like the Street Fighter Shoryuken uppercut. Like, oh, she tried that. I was like, I mean, I don't know if she meant to do it like that or if it was just a mistake, but hey, great moves come from the States. Look at the Claymore thing. That's what I'm gonna say that. And of course, Rhea Ripley ended up winning. And that's how that was, you know, that moment afterwards. Yeah, of course, I forgot to mention a little discrepancy between Bianca Belair and Io Shirai. I'm not sure if that's going to lead to anything. I hope it does. If that leads to anything, then I would imagine that would mean a face turn for one of them. I don't think it'll be wise to do a face turn for Bianca Belair right now. I think the heel thing is actually working for her. Io probably can go either way. I mean, the crowd's already behind her. So, anywho, we had a short Keith Lee promo, you know, leading into the main event for the night for the #1 contender to the North American title. Anyhow, we had another match, which is Forgotten Sons versus Imperium. Now, this is a very physical match. These are very physical dudes. The crowd started chanting USA, USA. I'm not going to say it's a bad time to do that right now. And you know, I'm not going to say it. So just erase the last 5 seconds. Now, somebody did one heck of a hurricane. I was like, so I thought that was pretty nice, but nothing really shouted at me about this match. Like, oh, look at this, look at that, you know. But anyway, Eichner won, and I guess the crowd usually chants their song. Yeah, if a match doesn't, I'm not saying it was not a bad match. Like I said, it was a very solid match, but it's a solid match. Nothing really much I could say except these guys went in there and did their thing. Matt Riddle interview, he's talking about teaming up with Pete Dunne to enter into the Dusty Rhodes Classic, which is going on right now. And I neglected to mention Forgotten Sons and Imperium. That was actually a match from the first round and such, so I apologize for forgetting that. Anyhow, the next match was Austin Theory versus Shiny Suit Man. So this is what What? Oh, really? Oh. Okay. Sorry, not Shiny Suit Man. Joaquin Wild. This suit was shiny, though. Anyway. So, Austin Theory versus Joaquin Wild. You know, Joaquin Wild, he did not look bad in the ring. Very impressive. And Austin Theory, this is the second match. Yeah, he was absolute gold. And when he faced Roderick Strong in the Christmas episode, whatever, I gave that best match because that man put on a show. And he put on one here too. Of course, he ended up winning with the TKO or whatever, but that doesn't take away from the fact that these two are gold in the ring together. Either that or I'm convinced Austin Theory can make a match look wonderful with anybody, but I guess we'll tend to see that in the future. And this was followed by a Damian Priest promo. As you know, they're doing these promos for everybody in the main event, like I said earlier. Next, you had Fish and O'Reilly, Undisputed Era versus two members of Gallus. These are the tag team champs of NXT and tag team champs of NXT UK. And this is also in the Dusty Rhodes Classic. Now, very physical matchup. And the disappointing thing is you want to see who really is the tag team. But Cole had to cheat. Undisputed Era won. What more can I say about that? Now, some people won't be upset about that, but you know what? Maybe there wasn't a better way to do it. I just didn't care for it. That's just me. Now, Johnny Gargano came out. He actually cut a very good promo, but he was getting booed at first. And I was all like, why are you booing this man? Like, what did you do? Now, those are probably some diehard Balor fans, which I can understand, but you gonna boo Johnny Wrestling? So, because he spoke some truth. And Balor came out and pretty much said, if Regal's good with it, then I'm going to challenge you at TakeOver. What was it, TakeOver Portland? Yep. And then followed by a Cameron Grimes interview. Yes, Cameron Grimes is in the main event. Then you had Mia Yim versus Kaden Carter. Wonderful match. And you know what? Kaden Carter is actually pretty good in the ring for her to never win. She like goes toe to toe with some of the best, only to come up short. So I don't know if she's supposed to be like this whole jobber to the stars type deal, but she be hanging with him. Of course, Mia Yim eventually hits protective neck and she wins. She didn't have long to celebrate though, because right after the match they were both attacked by Chelsea Green. And then this dude named Robert Stone said, Chelsea Green is a new member of the Robert Stone brand, or whatever. And I'm sitting here like,
who in the blue hell are you?
You had the Dijakovic promo, then you had the main event. Now, before I get into the main event, I just want to make a point of one thing. And that is Mauro Ranallo's references. And the fact that I related to them shows that he really is one of the best commentators out there. As smooth as the days of Underoos. Popping bottles like Oval Redenbacher. Lee's not a player, he just crushed a lot. This dude is freaking hilarious. The fact that he could be professional and understand all these and reference them within commentary seamlessly. Respect. For real. And comes the main event. Dominic Dijakovic, Keith Lee, Cameron Grimes, and Damian Priest battling for the #1 contendership of Roderick Strong's North American Championship. This match was amazing. All 4 competitors, awesome. Even this one move Cameron Grimes did on Keith Lee, which I didn't think he could do because he's kind of small. Keith Lee's gargantuan. And also Keith Lee and Dijakovic, man, these dudes move like dudes a fourth of their size. And of course, Agile Damian Priest as well. But speaking of Priest, he was getting tossed around like a rag doll by Keith Lee. And then and Keith Lee did that superplex outside the ring apron back into the ring. It was something else. I don't even know who he pounced out the ring, but. And then I think it was Dijakovic and Damian Priest about to square off, or whatever. Keith Lee did his little raising at the ring apron. I love it. That is amazing. If that becomes a signature, I will be very excited about that, because that's just like this whole sinister, I'm gonna get you, watch your back type deal. And of course, Keith Lee ended up winning with a massive spirit bomb on Cameron Grimes. Yes, I know I was shocked to say, or seemed like I was saying, okay, Cameron Grimes is in the main event, how? But no, Cameron Grimes, he can hold his own. Yes, he was put in the match pretty much to eat the pin, I'm sure, but we got some skills. And that is your NXT rundown. This is for NXT. Best segment. I had the women jockeying for position at the beginning as the best segment. Best match, the main event. Best promo. I put Johnny Gargano, in spite of the fact he got booed at the beginning of it. I thought it was a pretty good promo, honestly. And our favorite is Keith Lee. And I'll, for those of you who's joining me for the first time tonight, I will let you know, since I've been doing Fray for All and since I started the crowd favorite section, last week was the only time Keith Lee did not get it. This dude is more over than anybody, it seems. And he backs it up. He really does. Best storyline, I put Gargano and Balor. So that's the NXT superlative. Now, when I say who won what, I don't talk about it anymore. I just show the results. So with that, here they are. Now this score was very close when I analyzed everything, so it honestly could have went either way it seemed, but ultimately NXT wins the Fray tonight. So since it's my first time on YouTube, you know, I would love your feedback. Please be respectful. I'll be respectful to you. I only ask that you be respectful to me. What you like about the show, what you don't like about the show, if you like the results, dispute the results, whatever, just talk to me. I didn't get a lot of communication on my Facebook page, which one of the reasons I moved to YouTube, I was going to do YouTube at first, but I was not ready. If you see my first video, you will see I was definitely not ready. So even though I will normally post on YouTube, I do ask that everybody still follow me on Facebook. That page is still going to be up. And thank you for watching Fray for All tonight. I appreciate it. And one more thing. I'll be remiss if I don't mention this. One of the things the shows did, they're doing support for the wildfires in Australia. So I do ask or implore you to at least just check out what you can do with the Red Cross, whether it's donation or any type of relief or support, because these fires are a lot more devastating than people really know or really think. So And the same thing happened for us. They may do the same, but that's just me. Anyhow, hope you enjoyed Fray for All tonight. Join me next week as we join the fray.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?